Hello. We're hiding a little bit something to make it a little bit more mysterious, because before I want to give you a little presentation for introducing it. I'm going to talk about something we start to use as a term more and more. We call it bidirectional augmented reality. Because other terms like mixed reality and all of these things really don't apply to what we do here in the Media Lab. Okay. Because so when you look at your applications of augmented reality that you know, you usually think about augmented reality as a unidirectional connection. That means the physical reality is only some kind of a substrate for the augmented reality experience. So the data comes from the real world, the marker as an origin point is in the real world, but that's about it. And you just put that experience on top. So that can look like something like this. You have some sensor readings that you can project onto an object, and it looks really cool because it merges the physical and the digital. It can also look like this. Here I put like my heartbeat that I measured with an empatica sensor on my other wrist, and I put that data on my wrist. You can imagine this is a scenario in a hospital. You have these tattoos. In the moment you get into a hospital, you put it on the body. The doctor can just look at you and sees all your data, things like that, right? But that kind of augmented reality is only a medium for consumption. You can only consume information, but you're not engaging with the physical world. And augmented reality has this big opportunity to actually truly engage with the world around you. So we're looking at augmented reality as a bidirectional link, where the physical reality and the augmented reality are fully merged and fully seamlessly fused together. So that means whatever you do on the augmented user interface, it has influence on the physical, and whatever you do on the physical, it has influence on the augmented reality. So that can look like this, for example. Here we have a very simple radio. It has a volume knob and a tuning knob to switch the channels. But this is old, and today we expect all our MP3s and so at hand. So this radio has a second layer on top. Here we have an augmented user interface, and when I click on that little wheel, the interface pops up. Whatever I do on the reel, I see it directly mapped in augmented reality. And here I have the selection with all my MP3s, everything that I want. I can browse through them. And now I can just drag and drop one of these MP3s onto that tuning dial. And what I do here is I reprogram how that physical objects behave. So I add information into the physical space. And now I can take that user interface aside and operate the radio that I have reprogrammed through augmented reality. So that is one part of bidirectional augmented reality. Another part you can see here in a complete feedback loop where always the position of a robot updates the computer and my finger updates the position of the robot. In a feedback loop, I can perfectly manipulate a robot, put it in the right spot, position it in space. So this is a bidirectional link between the augmented and the physical. Or I can have a user interface where I can just drag and drop lines between different physical objects that have not been connected before, and I establish a connection just through that interface. So, and another one, we did a little project with Audi and put that technology in their cars. And so here, sometimes I like classical music, sometimes I like techno, and I want my audio settings to be changeable, but it's only very far in their onboard computer. Here I can use augmented reality to drag a physical knob into a submenu in the computer to make that functionality physical. So while I drive, I don't need to look at the board computer and create an accident. I actually have reprogrammed that car to my demands, right? All of these use cases is what I think is bidirectional augmented reality. And when you look at augmented reality from that perspective, it's not a medium for consumption. It actually becomes a super powerful tool. And it becomes a multi-tool for all of the things around us that are digital and physical at the same time. And this is what we do here in the Media Lab, a project that we call the Reality Editor. And we create this project over the last 4 years and developed all of these platforms and metaphors and work around it. So I think, yes. Now I want to show you that whole thing live. So I lift this wonderful curtain. We built a little robot, and we built it with Lego Mindstorms. And we built it with Lego Mindstorms because we thought the last time we made something public, we got really bad press in Germany from a big magazine. And they said, well, it's really nice that you did this reality editor. And I downloaded it, and I hold it on my light, and nothing works. Yeah, screw that. It doesn't work. And so we thought, OK, let's build it on top of something that is really distributed and everyone around us has, or like a lot of people have it at home, maybe. And so we have this little robot. We can switch to the user interface here. I hold it on here, and let's hope the demo works. Yes. So I can move that demo around, that robot. Oh, left and right stopped working. So the demo works half. So what I want to illustrate here is that kind of bidirectional connection. So in the moment that I connect my finger on the screen, the distance becomes logged in. And when I move it, that robot always tries to keep that distance between my finger and the robot. And I can move it all around. Oops. And I hope this works here. OK. So we lost track of the lower robot part, but the upper robot part. Anyhow, I wanted to show that as a quick little demonstration. And it's a small demo, but it's very powerful because it uses a toy prick that we can distribute, and it uses a lot of components, and all of these components can be with augmented reality, can be programmed and use the bidirectional augmented reality. Thank you.